Greetings and salutations, viewers. I'm StarPrincessHLC, and welcome to Trilby's Notes, the third part of the 4-part Chzo Mythos done by Ben Yahtzee Croshaw. This one's a little bit more different. This one is sort of a point and click, but kind of the really old version, like the old King's Quest. It's text-based instead of point and click. So, let's see where this goes. Yeah, let's put the tutorial on just for safety. The following documents are taken from the handwritten notes of Trilby, an STP-filled operative whose real name remains classified. Game over. Well, thanks for playing, everybody. Okay. Well, that's what I thought as I stood and watched DeFoe Manor collapse into flaming ash. I thought you wanted to go punch your fence in the face. The ordeal was over. Those 5 days cost us all so much. Philip and AJ paid with their lives. They were the fortunate ones. Jim Fowler was expelled from school for truancy, a bright future in tatters. Simone Taylor took to the bottle. Her broadcasts became slurred, her eyes hollow and unwelcoming. She soon vanished from television screens. As for me, I tried to return to life as a cat burglar, but I've been forever tainted by my time spent in that wretched house. The memories of my possession came back in my nightmares. Every night I was there again, in the mansion, staring out through unfamiliar eyes as Philip died at my hands. I became convinced that John DeFoe was not at rest, that someday he would return for me. I became so terrified of invisible enemies that I forgot about the tangible ones. Trilby caught! Infamous thief captured! 2 slow, miserable years after DeFoe Manor, a barrage of truncheon blows taught me a harsh lesson in reality, and I woke up in the kind of filthy cell I assumed would be my new home. But then he came, the man from the government with his nervous smile, offering an alternative. The STP, the Special Talent Project. Not to be confused with SCP containment. It hadn't been that much earlier that I would have sooner died than entered an obligation with anyone, least of all the government. Had DeFoe Manor changed me so much that I would trust the government? Whatever my reasons, I left my past behind and resolved to give my new superiors nothing to complain about. I spent 1.5 years completing assignments, developing contacts, building reputation. And then the past caught up. In the summer of '97, I became concerned about Simone Taylor's mental well-being. The papers reporting her continual breakdown, and she'd become a virtual recluse. I had no idea if my appearance would assist or hinder. I, after all, deliberately allowed her to think me dead. Presumably she knew differently now, after the media coverage of my arrest, but I would expect her to be bitter about my subterfuge. I did let her run to an entire place full of police officers and made her explain everything to the police. On balance, I decided that a meeting with an old friend would most likely be beneficial. I came to her apartment, building up on a warm, stormy night, and braced myself for the encounter. Alright. That went a little too fast for me. Is it? What do I do next? I have to move closer first, okay. I have to click A for some reason, looks like. Knock. No, okay. This is weird. He's flighty. Alright, knock. Knock sharply on the door. Okay. Still no response. The doorman assured me Simone was in, as I was time to enter by my own methods. Pressing tab or into... okay. I have with me lockpicks. Okay. Use Lockpick on door. Reason that Simone could have been trouble, even if she wasn't. Then, at worst, I was only playing to my reputation. I spent a few minutes feverishly picking the lock, then let myself in. Wow, it's dark. I can't see a damn thing. Where's the light switch? Is there a light switch? Use light switch. Probably. Yeah, these things are weird. Okay, fine. I'll open the curtain. It seems to be the only light coming through. I can't see me. There I am. Okay. Open curtains. I pulled open the blind. Whoa, hello. Inspect. Oh. Okay, fine. Look. Okay, fine. Gotta wait for another flash. Look. Floor. Look. Floor. Oh, come on. I see it right there. It's a frickin' body. She's dead. Look. Floor. Come on. Look. Floor. Come on, it's right there. Fine. Look. Body? The body on the floor was undoubtedly Simone. I felt for a pulse, and my hands came away stained with long-coated blood. My fingers traced the outline of a large wound in her torso, slashed by a big weapon, wielded by a big assailant. I guess that explains your hunch, Trilby. Called for an ambulance, as futile as it would be, and left before they arrived. Due to me being a clear murder suspect, I was relieved from duty for the week it took for the Ministry of Occultism to inspect the flat and confirm supernatural activity. Ministry of Occultism. I'd rather be the Ministry of Silly Walks. My superior simultaneously apologized and assigned me to investigate if there was a connection to the DeFoe Manor incident. Merely reading those 3 words, capitalized on the front of a loose-leaf file, brought the nightmares back with more intensity than ever. Sure enough, a field agent reported that looters had discovered and sold several artifacts from the mansion, including the wooden idol that housed John DeFoe's soul. To my surprise, no murders had been reported or committed by anyone who had come into contact with the accursed trinket. I did not find this reassuring. I quickly advised James Fowler to go into hiding. He was stunned, but agreed. The boy had sense and still respected my judgment. Stunned, I began following the idol's trail. From the pawn shop, it had entered the possession of one Professor Abed Shahat, an authoritative historian. He had scheduled some kind of antique fair in the Clanbrown Hotel on a small island off the coast of Anglesey, popular with tourists. Assuming the role of a scholar of antiquities, I booked a room. On the 28th of July, 97, I caught a ferry from Porthlakeshog in Anglesey and arrived around 3 p.m. in the Columbusboro Islands coastal village. It seemed a peaceful hamlet, and in defiance of stereotype, the locals were welcoming and told me no local legends to dissuade me from exploring the island. The Clanbrown Hotel was in the island's center, surrounded by forest. I made my way there on foot. You're Trilby, right? As soon as I arrived, I was greeted by a balding man in a gray anorak. I wondered if I was expected to know who he was. That depends. My name is Langton. I'm with the Ministry of Occultism. Oh, I thought the Ministry were clear on the fact that I was handling this on my own. Maybe there are still people who don't trust you, Mr. Trilby. What? I haven't stolen anything since I joined the STP. Your colorful past is not what concerns my superiors. It hasn't gone noticed that your history with the DeFoe wraith influences you psychologically. I'm sure you resisted, but it still caused you to act irrationally, disobey orders. Everyone just feels a little safer with someone else on the ground. I see. You rest assured that I will endeavor to maintain absolute professionalism on this assignment. Nevertheless, I have my orders. I would suggest we keep out of each other's way, then, and pursue separate investigations. I'm sure I don't want to get mixed up in a reunion. I watched him disappear around the corner of the building. I very much doubted that Langman and I would become friends. The Clown Brown Hotel lobby was a warm welcome. The building was certainly well maintained, and there was something about it that nagged at the back of my mind, quickening my pulse. I dismissed the sensation, an act which, in retrospect, I would come to regret. Good evening, Terence Railby. I have a reservation. Terence Railby, really? Ah, yes, you're here for the antique fair. We've put you in room 3C on the 3rd floor if you'd just like to sign the check-in book. Hello, Bethard. What do you know? I'll be having dinner in my room today. That's absolutely fine, Professor. This, I decided, was what they called a golden opportunity. Professor Shahal. Yes? I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage. Railby, Terence Railby. We met at Southbury's a few months ago. Oh, you don't remember me? No, of course I do. Terry Railby, how have you been? The astute reader had already guessed that both Terence Railby and the previous meeting were utter fiction. I spent some time studying Shahal's movements and habits. He was by all accounts absent-minded, and that was something I could use. I'm well, thanks. I was hoping I'd run into you. I've heard interesting things about the items you're showcasing here. You remember I do freelance scouting for some wealthy collectors? Oh, yes. Well, a client of mine has expressed an interest in relics from DeFoe Manor in Buckinghamshire. He's been on my back for a while about it. Between you and me, he seems pretty obsessed. What remained of Professor Chahal's suspicion melted away from his expression at the opportunity to make money entered the conversation. Well, I'm sure I wouldn't want to damage your professional status. Would you like to come to my room for drinks? Oh, I don't want to impose. No imposition at all. Please, follow me. Your room key, Mr. Railby. Ah, thank you. Please lead the way, Professor. A bed. Who's your friend? Oh, let me introduce you. This is my personal assistant, Siobhan. She accompanies me on most of my excursions. Siobhan, this is Mr. Railby, an old acquaintance. He's looking for information on DeFoe Manor artifacts. Oh, really? Him and half the people we've met? What is it about that place? Never underestimate the attraction of a mystery, my dear. Please take a seat, Terry. I'll be right with you. I'm not sitting, though. So, interested in ghost stories? The girl struck me as a forceful personality. I gave the matter some thought before replying. Not really. I'm just scouting on behalf of a client like I told the professor. You know, it's strange to see someone as young as you in the antiques trade. And come to think of it, I thought old men dressed like that. No offense meant. None taken. I didn't catch your last name. It's O'Malley. Siobhan O'Malley. Could be more Irish if I tried, could it? Oh, great, I gotta try an Irish voice. Sorry to keep you waiting, dear boy. Now then, what shall we talk about? When talking to characters, you must specify a topic of conversation. Okay. talk to a bed about DeFoe Manor. Okay. Talk to bed. I don't know, I just have my driver when about DeFoe Manor. So I understand you came into possession of artifacts from DeFoe Manor. Yes, indeed, and it was astounding to me that such artifacts existed at all. I mean, the place burned down. The whole place burned to the ground. Did you hear about the DeFoe Manor incident? I was experiencing a sick feeling that I had not felt for quite some time. The last thing I had felt, it was while standing at the gates of another country mansion, not long after DeFoe Manor, preparing to break in. Recalling those 5 wretched days churned my stomach with fear, turning what once been the joy of thievery into an exercise in anxiety. Discussing it brought that feeling back. The act of feigning ignorance, white visions of wielding masks and machetes flooded my mind's eye, worsened them. I heard something on the news. And it's been on the news again lately since the Taylor woman died. A lot of silly talk about the paranormal is bound to the true facts are near unreachable. But the point is, some enterprising fellows picked up 1 or 2 undamaged items from the ruins. Furniture, books, an ugly little tribal figurine. And I took them off their hands purely out of curiosity, of course. So, were there any particular items your client is interested in? Ooh. I already know this one. Talk to bed about idol. Tell me, does a huge man in a welly mask and leather apron mean anything to you? Not really, should it? Never mind. It's a small African figurine that my client wants me to look into. There's something a rather ugly tribal god. That whole thing? Honestly, despite its age, it's virtually valueless. That's what I said, but my client is very insistent. He's interested in the paranormal, and the idol features in some of the more unlikely accounts of the DeFoe Manor incident. Well, I don't suppose I should ask questions, but if this man of yours wants to take it off my hands... I don't have it on me right now. It's being kept in the hotel safe. Perhaps we could work out a deal after the fair. I intend to display with the other DeFoe artifacts. In relay, I just wanted to get this mission completed as fast as possible, but I didn't want to risk suspicion or giving off the wrong impression. That will be fine. So, just out of interest, what else have you picked up from the mansion?
Odds and ends, basically. Some silverware and ceramics, most of a burnt rocking chair, and the painting, of course.
Painting?
A landscape from a wall in the mansion's lounge. Of a little artistic value, but the artist features prominently in DeFoe Manor's colourful history.
Matthew DeFoe?
That's him, yes. Bethan, she runs the hotel. She asked if she could display it in the lobby.
Instantly, I recated the sick feeling I had felt in the lobby. I'd seen the painting, but paid it little heed.